So it looks like we got some folks on the call. A lot of folks. I see Pollo, I see Jose, Jeff, Kareem. Thank you guys for joining in. We're just waiting on Pete to jump on right away, and I know this time is limited. So as soon as you get in, we can get right to business.
Leonard.
Hey, Peter, there he is. Hey, so I know your time is limited, buddy. So let me go ahead and get straight to the chase and introduce you. Peter, folks, this is Peter. He's located in the U.S., New Jersey, specifically on the East Coast time. He is a company representative. He's the chief marketing officer for the company, for the Berlin Group, as well as behind this project with the RecycleBot project. I've known Peter for some time. Within the last couple of months, got to build some really good relationship with him. Got to align ourselves in principles and philosophies, and we resonated with each other right away. He presented this opportunity for me, and I first told him to get off my inbox, and I don't want to hear anything about it. And then after he shot me some information. I did some research when I got to it. And then I got back to him and I said, okay, what the hell is this? Is this real? So, and that's why you guys are here, for those who are already members, who are just kind of still understanding what the Berlin Group and RecycleBot is. We wanted to invite Peter into this and to learn more about the RecycleBot, the business behind RecycleBot. This is bigger, folks. This is bigger than just growing your Bitcoins or trying to get, additional return on your Bitcoin, on your asset, right? So it's a lot more than that. And I wanted to bring Peter in to kind of provide his a little bit of background experience and help you guys get some more information as much as he can in the limited time that we have with him. Peter, so here you go.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the introduction, Leonard, and the friendship that we're building is really legendary, brother. So my name is Peter Ohanian. For you guys who don't know, I am the Chief Marketing Officer of the Berlin Group. And I joined this particular company because of the fact that I saw the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is not, it's not us just being here and taking our Bitcoin and growing our Bitcoin. It's a dual purpose. It may be us creating a type of financial prosperity for us and for our families, but at the same time, it's also the ability to give back to the environment, which we all believe is a worthwhile cause. And so the opportunity here is not only relying on the bot itself. Rather, the opportunity is relying on the bot and other aspects of the company. So right now, we are focusing on just the bot. So we're focusing on, growing your Bitcoin and basically going from there. However, in the near future, we are also going to explore two other avenues. And one of those avenues is going to be figuring out how we can actually come out with our own ICO. That's number one. And number two is also investing in the actual company. In other words, not just the bot itself, but investing in the company itself. And from that aspect, you're talking about actually bringing on investors that don't care about the bot whatsoever, but hey, they have millions of dollars and they're like, well, I really like this project, but how can I actually be an investor in the aspect of the company and the recycling part of it? Like, how can I get equity in the company, in other words? And so that is something that we're going to do down the line. It's not right now, but it is something that we are exploring, because obviously the only way they're going to make revenue is not just through this bot. I mean, there's other ways. And the main reason why I came here was because when I was brought into this particular opportunity, a little bit of framework on myself as far as bots go. I mean, everything, but as far as bots go, I've been in 11. So I've been in 11 different bots. I have a fair amount of teams in some. Uh, but I've never seen what I really thought I could actually call home. And with this, I can, because of two big reasons. One, because of, honestly, the position that I'm in, and it gives me an ability of control over what we can and cannot do to an extent. So because I am the marketing person in charge, it gives me that kind of balance. But the biggest thing that I've seen about that in other companies is that there isn't as much of a influence from the community members. But with this particular company, I want every single leader, every single person that's in 0.002 Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. I want them all to understand that they all have a voice, right? Because the biggest problem is that a lot of us have this ability to give tremendous amounts of information, but at the same time, we're not able to get that information digested from the people that need to understand it. So here, what I'm trying to say is that you are able to give your voice, and at the same time, it will be heard. And if it's an idea that we feel is actually something that's worthwhile for the company, we'll also give you a nice little bonus for it. So it's not like, oh, we're just going to hear your idea and be done with it. Sorry for this. I broke my hand when I was playing with my kid.
No.
But all good, no worries. So I was not actually going to join another bot again. But what I decided, and the reason why I decided to join this one, was because of the transparency that the company is putting forth. And that word is used extremely loosely.
Yeah.
But I've found here that it's not thrown around. Now, I will tell you one thing. Our OEM, our operations manager, Lori Suarez, is a brash guy, right? If you're on his good side, you're on his good side. If you're on his bad side, look out, right? Got a little bit of a temper. But you have me to balance that out, number one. And number two, you are getting a real person. You're not getting somebody who's like, oh yeah, everything's fine and dandy, and at the same time they're cursing you off in the background, right? So although his outlook may not be so amazing, at the same time, it is what you get,
Right.
you know. And
Let me just add to that, Peter, if you don't mind. I think with Lori Suarez, what you're saying is that Lori Suarez really has a personal attachment to this project with the Berlin Group, and therefore is more passionate.
Yeah.
If anything is not right, he's going to be all over it. He's going to make sure it's right. He's going to make sure it's fixed, and he's going to make sure it doesn't happen again. He's going to make sure whoever's doing whatever, like the programmers or the coders or whatever, he's going to hold them accountable. Especially if anybody goes out of compliance, he's going to be all over them. And that's what I kind of like about Lori, because he's not the kind of to push over, come on guys, let's not, let's be, whatever, and let's try. And if it is, or if it isn't. And Lori is not going to be the type of guy who's not going to accept any type of slander or anybody coming in to just kind of get a money grab or a quick buck. He wants to make sure it's legitimate. If it's right, he want to make sure he gets everyone the documents, get everyone the transparency. We have that posted in our Facebook group. If you guys want to know more about the project, you guys want to know more about the plants, the finance, the business piece of it, the plan, the terms and conditions, the progress of the funding of the project, he's all in it. And he's want to make sure it's right, and he want to make sure it's clear. And that's what more about this particular project that attracted me to Peter, what Peter's mentioning, to the other bot that they don't have anywhere close to that really made this a little bit more real, besides the transparency, which is something that I have not found in any other program this year.
Well, let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys were in USI? Raise your hand. Okay. So how many of you were used to seeing, hi guys, this is Horst, it's so nice to see you. And that's all you saw, right? And it was like this nice, happy figure, but in the background, there's a whole lot of shit going on, right? And that was the problem. My point in saying, in the way I said it, maybe it wasn't delivered the right way, but my point in saying that is he's a very real and honest person. So that is the caveat that we have with this company that we didn't have with the previous company, with USI. Because the thing that in my position, what gives me the ability to do is to show the ownership what we need to do to create the transparency that we need for everyone to be comfortable, right? So on our website, we just built a website, by the way, about 2 or 3 days ago, roughly, something like that. And this website is going to have a lot more content added to it. But you can learn a little bit about myself, about Lori, about the CEO of the company. I mean, I have, to give you an idea, when I had joined, the first thing that the CEO did was send me his passport. The first thing. He's like, here's my passport. I want you to know I'm real. I said, okay, wow, that's really cool. So I have his, I have Lori's, so I know exactly where these guys live. So,
hey, Peter, talk a little bit more about the back end of the 15-day for those who come in as part of these capital to grow your Bitcoin. How genuine and authentic the company stand by this project and those people's money?
Well, here's the crazy thing about that. The crazy thing is, although we have a 15-day policy, right? Because of all the, we've had issues, we've had technical issues, that we've had programmers that came out with a code, and the code was 1,000 pages instead of it being much less, which is why we've had so many bot issues. But that will all go to the wayside very soon, because we are going to be releasing a new bot, which will be 100% tested, coded perfectly. And I know the person who's in charge of that project is not going to take anything lightly. And he's got decades of experience in coding. So, so that's a real huge bonus. But the biggest thing that you want to think about with the 15-day is that although it's 15 days, we're still honoring people with the refunds. And it's been well over 15 days. When I say well over, I mean it's been probably 40 days, and we're still giving people back a refund.
Let me share with you a story that Lori shared with me, and it blew my mind. It was like literally almost 30 days. The guy's been, he put his money in to grow his Bitcoin, and he didn't get hit. He actually broke the principle of investing rule. He actually put money that he can't afford to lose, which was his rent money. And if he didn't get this money back, him and his wife and his kids going to be out in the street, literally. So this guy don't know anything from anything, right? So he's new. So he reached out to Peter and reached out to Lori and said, hey guys, I know it's past the 15 days. I really need this money back, because if I don't, my wife and kids, we're going to be out in the street. So Lori and Peter, and they get to the leadership team, and they made the decision, said, you know what, let's go ahead and give this guy his money back. And they gave him money back, 100% of it, even though it was past the 15 days, right? And of course, any withdrawals. But that just shows that the company is not trying to just keep your money and take your money. That's not what they're here for. And that makes it different than the other bots. Not saying anything is guaranteed. I'm not going to go and say that, because, I've said it before, but nothing's 100% guaranteed. But they are, backing your investments for those first 15 days. If you don't feel happy or satisfied with the returns or the process, that they're going to give you your money back. And I've even talked to a couple folks that were not happy. It's like, no, this is, whatever. And then I want my money back, and they got their money back. But I love about what they're doing about this. And you probably hear about all these bots on Telegram that has failed and scammed people's money, especially in the last week. I think there was like 4 bots that actually failed. And iCenter, of course, is still around. But the difference between this and iCenter is that iCenter doesn't have as transparency and the legitimacy that I see with this company that's backing this bot. And the other thing about this bot I want to add is that this bot is not trading. It's not arbitraging. Right? It's funding a project that is going to be, raising a lot of money that's going to be put back into the bot, that's going to sustain the returns in the bot. That's what makes it, legitimate from funding and where's the money coming from? So that might be some of your guys' question. And the other question you guys may have is, how much money is the company is actually making out of this? So if you don't mind, Peter, I'd like to go ahead and transition us over and say, if you guys got any questions or anything that's kind of like what we just heard from Peter and what I just said with you guys want some more specific, feel free to unmute your mic. Chantal, if you don't mind. Chantal is, she's in Belgium. She's one of my direct partners who have been partners over a year. So Chantal is very internationally known, great marketer. Love her genuine careness and concern for people and trying to make things, you know, really good in terms of allowing people to earn a good, passive, healthy return with a legitimate company, right? That's been the thing. We've all been scammed. We've all lost some money, some more than others, unfortunately. But either way, how can we make this money back and how can we find something? Because we're all here because we have not given up. We're all here because we have hope, and we know there's some legitimate process or platforms or even companies out there that we can earn that money back, because that's what I'm doing. That's for sure. I got to get some money back. So if you guys got some questions, go ahead and unmute your mic. If you have not, and shoot away, and Peter will answer what he can, and anything that we can't, we'll capture that and make sure we get that to you guys.
I got a quick question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. USI Tech was a horrible. It was a nightmare. One thing I got into with USI Tech was I thought they were going to be around for a while. It was something that I wanted. You know, I enjoyed the longevity look that they had. They it seemed like they were going to be around for a while. So I was all in with them, you know, and this is the first time I'm hearing about you, and I'm hearing the same stuff that I heard from USI Tech. I mean, and I don't know you. I know Leonard and I know Chantal, and I just what's the vision with the company? How long? I mean, is this a 2-year project, a 5-year project? Is it going to be around 10 years from now? Will I be able to tell my son about it, or my brother's family about it, which I did with USI Tech, and that was embarrassing. So my question is how long are we looking on, you know, if we invest with you guys or join up with you guys, how long is this you plan on being around?
Okay, so all very important points. Let me raise one other thing so that you have a little bit more clarity of how we are different than USI. And that is that on our website, in near future, in the next few days or so, we are going to have a link on the website that shows you exactly how much Bitcoin is going into our bot at all times. So you can keep track of that through the blockchain. That's number one. Now, on top of that, we are also going to add a feature that will show you when we take out Bitcoin from that wallet, how much Bitcoin is being taken out, what purpose it's being used for, and the contracts that are being signed from that company and our company, so you can see exactly black and white of how much is being taken out. So that in itself is something that USI didn't do, because when they started showing their Bitcoin wallet was when it was like January, and they were like, oh, now we'll show our Bitcoin wallet. Yeah, well, that's a little too late, right? So keep in mind one big thing. This is 7 weeks old. That's it. This is not around for 6 months, 3 months. It's 7 weeks. We are having massive amounts of growing pains, but the biggest thing that you can do from every failure is learn. And if you take from every single failure that you've had one thing that you can bring to the next one that will enable you to be one step closer to success, that is a big deal. So how is this going to be here for a while? One big reason. We have a threshold to reach on Tuesday of 45 Bitcoin. We are sitting at 36 right now. we have given out, I'm going to tell you two majorly important things. We have given out over 10 Bitcoin in refunds. 10. So we would have already been at our target, but we stuck to our guns and said, okay, we're going to refund people. And I have proof of it. If somebody doesn't believe me, I have proof of it. Okay. On top of that, we had a couple times when we were hacked. Okay. Again, I'm a truthful person. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you guys, because you need to understand what transparency means. And that means knowing what's everything story, and at the same time knowing what's going bad, so that you know for real what is really going on. And so by saying that, we had about something like, I think it was 9 Bitcoin that was stolen between those two different hacking attempts. And the hacking attempts that happened was because we had a previous programmer that had a backdoor into the system. So we stopped that. That's not going on anymore, but that was an issue. Now here's where our CEO comes in. He went, okay, well, that sucks. Here's 9 Bitcoin. And he gave us 9 Bitcoin to put back into the project because he wants this to succeed. Now, mind you, Joachim has never been involved in any kind of project like this. He's never been involved in bots. He's 60 years old. He's not into the marketing side of things. He doesn't really understand network marketing. He doesn't understand how people fight over downlines. He doesn't understand any of that. None of that. And he doesn't like it, to be honest with you. He can't stand it. He is facing a tremendous amount of slander and persecution from a number of different people that are really going after our bot because they believe that what we're doing is a scam. But at the same time, if you're comparing apples to apples and you're comparing iCenter, which really, let's call it the most long-standing bot, 14 months long. I've been in for close to 9 or 10 months now. But you know, the owner of that company is John Eric. He's out of England. They're licensed in Belize with a registration. They have 25 unofficial partnerships from all these different companies. If you ask what is one official partnership they have, you can't even get one. If you ask John Eric to come on a Zoom, he won't do it. If you ask John Eric to reveal his passport, he won't do it. If you ask John Eric for somebody to go to fly to him, he won't do it. All of this stuff that I've mentioned has already been done. People have flown to Australia to visit our owner, Joachim Pied, and have gotten an amazing experience from him. Now, we've only had 2 people do it, but we've only had 2 people ask, right? So my point in saying this is you're getting people that are genuine. You're getting people that are not really experienced in network marketing. Laurie Suarez has not really been in network marketing. Joachim Pied has never been in network marketing. So you're getting 2 old-fashioned Aussie guys that don't take crap from anybody, but at the same time want to deliver a project that's going to be here for years. Now, this 45 Bitcoin, if we hit this threshold by Tuesday, that is going to seal our deal with a company called Exodesis. Exodesis is a company that basically, in the short of things, keeps out the plastics from the ocean. So it keeps the ocean clean. Now, if you're asking me for a lot of specifics on Exodesis, I'm working on that. I have not gotten it yet, but I just emailed Manfred, who's the owner of the company, and he's going to get back to me with those details. Okay? But I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is real. Why? Because I was the only person in the whole company that was sent the actual document that was signed. And although I can't reveal that right now because of an NDA, in the next few weeks, all of that plus more as far as contracts go will all be revealed. So there's that. If the 45 Bitcoin is reached, we will have $290,000 that immediately goes back into the bot right away. On top of that, 90 days later, we will have $2.9 million that goes back into the bot. And on top of that, after 6 months, we will have half of the project funding. Half of the project funding is going to give us $250 million that goes back into the bot, which is going to give us a sustainability of 3 years and 6 months at minimum with one project. And I'm telling you, we're 9 BTC away from reaching that. So my point in coming on here is to give you guys confidence that there's 2 things. One, you're with someone above you, which is me, who has so much integrity because he only believes in everyone succeeding before himself. I don't care if I make money or don't make money. It doesn't matter. I just want to be somewhere that I can call home. And I feel like I am. So I know a lot of people have distrust after what's happened with USI, what's happened with other bots, but this is very different. And if you're not already in, and if you are already in, you know the communication level that we have is unlike anything anyone's ever seen. Because if the bot is down for 2 minutes, you're going to have 15 people that are wondering exactly how long it's going to be down for. And how can we rectify it, and how fast can we rectify it? You're going to hear every single side of anything that is going on at all times. If you message me or anyone else that's on the leadership team, we get back to you ASAP. You're not going to have hours and hours where you're going to wait for an answer. I mean, I messaged, to give you an idea, I messaged Horst twice in the time that I was with USI. And both times he got back to me, but it took a period of weeks. If you message Laurie Suarez, he'll get back to you in a period of hours. That's what I'm trying to say to you. And it doesn't matter who you are. The biggest thing that I want to drive home to anyone here is that whether you put in 0.002 Bitcoin to start or you put in $10,000 to start, you're treated the same way. You're not treated as the little guy if you're putting in a little bit, and you're not treated as the high echelon investor if you're putting in a lot. I want that to be very, very, very clear, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm putting in more money, so I'm going to be better looked at. No, you're not. You're going to be looked at exactly the same as the person who's putting in a little bit, because we're all on an equal playing field. I hope that clears up a little bit.
No, that was some good stuff, Peter. What other questions you guys have?
Geoff, do you have any questions for Leonard with respect to the company, or with how you proceed with it? Or
can everyone hear me? Okay, yeah. I hear myself.
Yeah, to the back.
No, I don't have too many questions about the company. Everything is clear, but I only want to know how to just start the account, put in money, and let's just get started with it.
Okay, great. Well, I will come back to you with how we can proceed with creating your account. But I think for now, the most thing with Darren was his fear with, like you said, with USI Tech. We all been there, we all been burnt. But I always tell to my team members, try to withdraw. Oh, wait, one moment. I've got to mute Geoff. Yeah. One moment is that we always try to get your seed money out as soon as possible. Because once you have done that, you don't have to be worried from, I've been scammed, no, we all are grown people, we are all adults. We know that this is risk. There's always a risk when you join a new venture. So when you do that with in your backhand, okay, I invest risk capital or I invest money that I can spare for the moment, then you're safe, then you're good. Then you don't have to worry, are they there in 5 years, 2 months, 1 month? Just do the right. Let's do this together and see how it grows. But it's important that you don't invest money that you can't lose, because We all been there. I have seen people who did mortgage on their house to reinvest into the company. Please don't do that. If you can't invest $1,000 or $100, then don't do it. We all can start with $13 in this recycle bot, and that's what I love about it. Even people with low investment funds, or low funds, I don't call it investment, can start with it. Just $13. Let's see how it works. Let's compound it. In the meanwhile, it compounds 2.8 return per day. So you can't hurt yourself with that. And I'm like, what you win in life. If we all stay behind because we have fears, then we don't get anywhere. We don't get anywhere. So that's my point in this.
No, it's definitely true. And you know what? You touched on something which is really important, and that is compliance.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, the person who is our chief technical officer, who's Jay Lawrence, this guy is a no fool around guy. And if anything is not compliant, he's going to be the first one to make sure it is. So that being said, there are many things that are going to be going on as far as compliance. What can be said for people in the United States, what can be said for people in other countries, so forth and so on. There will be a no-nonsense, zero-tolerance policy. If someone is not promoting it the right way, they will immediately be kicked out of the bot. It's just not going to happen here. And on top of that, we are going to change the wording that we use from investment to participation so that we stay away from that completely. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to see in the next, I'd say, week or so that is going to really change that aspect. Now, to speak on something which is even more interesting, which I'm not sure if Leonard has touched on, so I'll just touch on it anyway. This is not just going to be Bitcoin. So we are going to have Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum all at 2.8%. And we will also be adding Dash and Ethereum Classic in the future.
Oh, great.
So we're going to have 5.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with 3 because they're the 3 easiest.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is, in my opinion, you're going to have people that are in iCenter that are going to see this and go, well, they're getting 1.4 and we're getting 2.8, and that's sustainable, and they're offering no transparency and we're offering transparency. Where do I want to go? And that's what's going to start to happen. The main reason why we haven't had so many people in our bot right now is because it hasn't been stable. That is the only reason why it hasn't happened. Now, once the stability happens, which is getting much, much better now, that's going to be a big game changer. Huge. Now, on top of that, my friend Jay is also coding up something else from scratch. And what he's coding up from scratch is the ability to take us off of Telegram, put us onto an AWS, onto an Amazon server, and have an app for iOS and Android. So we won't have to worry about the bot going down or anything like that because we'll be off of Telegram. That's half the reason why all these issues happen, because all these queues go on and then it causes a problem. The funny thing is that I didn't really realize the ins and outs and technical side of things until Lori said, all right, you're going to be in charge of support, you're going to be in charge of marketing, you're going to be in charge of this. And let me make something else really clear. I'm not just a marketer. I'm a physical education teacher, I'm a tennis instructor, and I do this on the side, which is becoming obviously more full-time. But I hustle my butt off, and I make sure that the people on my team, not anyone else's team, on my team are all integrity-based. And if they're not, they have a very stern discussion as to how they can be. Because I don't settle for nonsense, ever.
Yep.
You'll find that as we go along.
The other thing to add, the difference with these multiple coins that will be coming on with this new coded bot that we're talking about in a few days, folks. The new bot is already completed. It's coded. It's through a verification piece right now, the cross-reference to make sure there's no gaps, no glitches. Right. So that is currently going on right now. The bot is completed and it's getting cross-referenced happens right now with the code. So within the next few days, we'll be migrating over to the new bot with the new coins that will be included. And it will be one bot, not 3 separate bots for 3 separate coins like it is for Ice Center. All right. In the meantime, the application to what Peter was talking about with Jay is that they're working on the application piece of the newer bot that will be the long-term sustainable bot that will be coded. And the team that's working on that one is apparently the team or the coding team programmers that developed the Uber app for Uber. Mm-hmm. So that team is working on this bot just to kind of give you guys the type of caliber of people who's working with this. That's in California, in Silicon Valley, California, folks is working on this type of stuff. The other thing I want to share with you guys is that Peter is my upline sponsor. He's my direct upline sponsor. So for everyone who wants to know, we're on his team, just in case. So that's why we get more of an inside information. If you're wondering how I know probably just as much as he does, obviously he knows more than I do, of course. He's signed by an NDA, but I get a little bit of inside information that if I feel that's just something that you guys need to be excited about, I'll share a little bit of snippet for you guys, but at least you guys will know that we do have connections with anything that's going on, anything you have a concern, we get answers right away. And I think that's what Peter's talking about.
Yeah, what I can share with you, I can't give away names, but if you guys can think, you could probably figure it out. There are 2 major important political figures that are involved within this company. Well, actually 3. One is a person by the name of John Foley out of Australia, who is in charge of a company, he's the chairman of a company called Citigroup Gold, and that is basically an investment firm. And he is backing this project 100% and has tremendous connections all over the world and wouldn't wreck his reputation for anything. That's number 1. Number 2 is you have an ex-president of the United States and an ex-president of the United States backing the main company, not the bot, backing the main company, the Berlin Group. Can't tell you who it is, but if you think about it, think environment, and you'll probably figure it out. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the people backing this project is what is the big, 360 in a way, because that is not seen anywhere across any bot or honestly any crypto company I've almost ever seen.
And let's be really clear, guys. I want to make sure you guys really understand. You're not investing. You're participating in an environmental project, and in return, as an investor of this project and this company that they're doing globally, you guys will earn a return on your participation fund, right, at 0.7% every 6 hours, 2.8% per day, or a term of 60 days. And Chantal, or whoever invited you guys to this call, can explain a little bit more of how that works, where you get the ability to compound and reinvest for another 60-day term for each Bitcoin or Litecoin, Ethereum, or additional coin that would be coming on your asset.
Yep.
How's that, guys? Oh, that's just awesome.
That's good.
Yeah. Another question I had, I heard there was a cap of 50,000 members. Is that still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the 50,000 member cap is not inactive, it's active. So if you look at the current numbers, it's about 9,600 that we have in the company, but only 2,870 are actually active themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
So once that 2,870 becomes 50, then it becomes capped out. And then the only time anyone can come in is if somebody leaves, which probably wouldn't happen.
No.
So
there isn't a limit on your membership. It's not that you can only be 60 days participation in the project. No, you can be unlimited, be a member of RecycleBot.
Oh yeah, no, the 60 days is only, let me explain. So the 60 days is only in reference to when you join, you join at 0.002 Bitcoin, right? That runs for 60 days. Once your balance reaches 0.002, you have the option, well, sorry, because right now we have the withdrawal set to 0.003. So let's call it 0.003. Then you have the option of either withdrawing and it going right to your Bitcoin account, or you can re-participate and basically start anew. And then you have one participation working with another, and now they're working together. And you can keep doing that over and over and over again. And the biggest benefit like this is that this is something that is probably one of the easiest things to join. Because if you think about so many people that are not involved in bots, that are marketers, I have some people like big time marketers that came on this, and it was the funniest thing because I was on a 3-way call with some of the guys, and they're like, hey, Ron, and they're like, push the button. He's like, what's going to happen? He's like, you're going to join. He's like, what? They were like blown away because literally you press the button and that's it. You're registered because Telegram works off of your phone number, and that's how they basically get it. So all your information is there. But that's all you have to do. You don't have to put your name. You don't have to put your address. You don't have to put anything like that.
Well, for now.
Well,
they are looking at.
Working on that.
Yeah, because I'm part of the compliance team, guys, here. So I got to share with you guys. They are looking to some type of identification verification, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, because if you are participating in a project in this magnitude, there would need to be some back-end in terms of your funds or your capital asset of who you are, right? And the other thing, to Peter's point, is 0.002 Bitcoin at the current Bitcoin price. I think it's like $13 US. Of course, if you're in different countries, whatever your currency is, but for US dollars, that's $13, right? So that's low. When you have something that low, pretty much everybody and their mother can pretty much join, right? And there's really no skin in the game for $13. But for that piece, we want to make sure we know who you are and you're verifying who you are, because what we don't want to do is, although we want to attract some serious, genuine people, with that low amount, you also get the scums, right, around the world for people trying to get in and get a money grab, which we don't want. We got to screen them, right? We got to pretty much filter them out. That will be in place, I think, with this bot or the new bot, but it will be coming. I just want to kind of give you guys a heads up. So if you're already in and you don't have a verification, get some money out soon because it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, no, most
is there an additional cost when you withdraw? Is it directed to the wallet, or do you need to pay a commission on the withdrawing?
So as of right now, there is no withdrawal fee.
Okay.
But that may be something that we will be working into later, because just for sustainability purposes. Other than that, no, not right now, but that is subject to change in the future if it's something that we need to. So I will tell you that when we release this new bot, I won't say what, because I can't say exactly what, because I don't want to say and give the wrong information. However, there will be certain bonuses for participating. So in the beginning, in the next, like, first couple days of the bot or something like that, we will have a higher bonus of participating, just to, get people excited about being there and making more in the long run, kind of thing. So that's something that's coming as well. And yeah, I mean, what I can say is this: if you have specific questions that either you think, honestly, either I couldn't answer about, like, like, what is the stage of funding for the plants and things of that nature, because I don't even know that. But if you have those particular questions, Leonard has my email address, and you guys can send me anything that you want. I'll send that to Lori right away, and Lori will get the answers that he needs. Now, the one thing that I want to make very clear is that this thing keeps going off. The one thing I want to make very clear is that the transparency of this project doesn't not only want to be shown from us, but it also wants to be shown by Lori. Like when I was on the phone with a group of people from the UK yesterday, and then Lori called me a minute after, and he's like, these are some awesome questions. And these were like the top Forex traders in all of the UK. And they were asking some questions that we did not know answers to. So he said, okay, we'll put it into an email and we'll get the answers for you. So when we hit this 45 Bitcoin, we can go to our CEO, Joachim, and say, all right, so we have 45 Bitcoin in right now. We funded the Exedesis project. Now what we need you to do is provide us with all the answers that we need, all the contracts that we need, and everything going forward. And he'll be more than happy to do it. So this is going to give us another deeper transparency that you haven't seen around. So, and that may not come within days, it may come within maybe a few weeks, but it will come. So that's something that's important to consider.
Again, guys, not to take too much of your time, but I really encourage you guys to read, I think it's like a 22-page report. It's a really good summary, guys. Very good, colorful detail of where these plants are going to be located. They've already been sited. They've already been, drafted in terms of where the plant's going to be, what they look like. I think there's 5 or 6 locations around the world. Germany, there's 5 or 6 locations. So I really encourage you guys to go back and read that report. It has a lot of good detailed information. Also, we have the company profile. We have the website. I encourage you guys to read that as well. And more importantly, on Peter's website, you guys take his name, first and last name, on Peter's YouTube channel, he also has the video recorded to where Joachim and Lori was on there sharing a lot of and answering all the tough questions that Peter we just shared with you guys about a month and a half ago. That's a really good video as well. So you guys can meet Joachim, and you guys can also, which is the CEO, and also Peter and also Lori on that call. So I really encourage you guys to go back and watch that a little bit more. It's really good stuff. And if you don't have access to that, get with me or get with Chantal, and we make sure we get that access to you guys. That's what we did. We did our research, and that's what me and Chantal did. We checked this in and out, and it passed all the tests, guys.
Yeah, the other thing that I do for everyone is that on my YouTube channel, I don't attach a link to a walkthrough that I do, but I do a full walkthrough of the current bot that we have, how to withdraw, how to deposit, how to reparticipate, all that is in there. And for legal reasons, we probably need to change that to a different wording. But once that's changed, then I'll do a new video, and again, won't put my link down or anything, so you guys can share it even now to all your team members and not have to worry, oh no, is somebody kicking on Peter's link? No, it's not there. The only thing I do put there is my Facebook profile, just so that if anybody has any questions, they can reach out. I'm not that YouTube guy that hides behind and says, oh, hi, I'm Crypto John, and then doesn't say who he is. So, that's just, there's no point, in my opinion. Either, you say who you are or you don't. It's up to you. But that's just my take.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions, comments?
Darren, do you have more questions?
Well, I'm just this would be my first bot that I've actually paid attention to, except for how does this compare to like Profit Trailer? Does anybody know Profit Trailer?
No.
No one's heard of Profit Trailer?
I think I've heard of Profit Trailer. Profit Trailer is more of a automated trading platform.
Yeah.
Those and altcoins.
But that's altcoins. That's all altcoins, right? This is going to be 4 or 5.
This is going to be end up about 4 or 5, but we're not trading them, right? You're not trading them. You're not exchanging them. They're not connecting it to any type of API, or they're not going into different arbitrage exchanges. They're not doing any of that.
Leonard, can I share my screen real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay.